Hello, my name is Emily Rosario, and I just got interviewed by Keith Andrew. If you haven't seen it, you got to, because he is just an amazing person, and me as an amazing person equals amazingness all over. So don't forget to check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith Andrew, and welcome to the KeithAndrewNetwork. It is episode 1041. That's right, 1041. And we have a terrific guest here only on the KeithAndrewNetwork. With that being said, first question I want to ask is tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Emily Rosario. I'm an elite runner, I'm an actress, and I'm an entrepreneur.
Oh, that's completely amazing. So the first one I want to ask you, I'm going to ask you some easy questions, then go to the hard-hitting ones. First one is, when you were in college, were you a study nerd or a party animal?
In between. I was on a scholarship, so I couldn't really party as much as I wanted to. So I had to keep my grades up.
That's true. Did he do any sports when you were growing up?
I did so many different sports. I did like t-ball, and then I did softball for so many years, and then I transitioned in high school to track and field, and then ever since then I've been doing track and field.
You're gonna think I'm a loser. I know I am. But did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or you're not into the whole human pyramid stuff?
Oh, I've never done that.
I love that stuff. But when I was younger, I think my grandparents got me a circus book. And what caught my interest on the second page was a pyramid. And for some reason, that and Dumbo that just got me very interested in that stuff. I know I'm a loser. Like, oh, you're supposed to be a guy, big and strong, lift those weights. But you know what? Yes, I am into working out, obviously, but it's fun question to ask. You watch older TV shows, you watch different shows on MTV, and or if they do have TV shows like this, you look at Fox News and CNN. How can my show be different? So let's ask some basic questions. Did you do sports growing up? Were you a study nerd? Or like the next one I'm going to ask you is, what did you major in?
My major was film and TV production, a Bachelor of Arts.
So that's the point I'm making. It's like it's not just a point blank, like tell us about yourself. One, two, three. Thanks for the interview. But it's my interviews are more in depth. It's more personable because I say to people, you're making a new friend out of it. It's not a catchphrase. You just supported my message. You're supporting people with disabilities. Plus, you're making a new friend out of it. So it's a win-win. Plus, I like to be different. Not to say I'm bizarre or anything, but it's always good to have fun with people and say, that's an interesting question because I never was asked that before. You mentioned when we're off the air, usually people send you lists of questions. I don't want it to be premeditated. So, like, you already made up your mind, like, okay, he's going to ask me for an example. I'm going to ask you 15 questions right now. But one of them is, what attracted you to start your career? Obviously, you wouldn't know that if I sent you the questions beforehand, and then boom, there you go. You just told me. But
Right.
the fact I take the time and put you on the spot, it's like, you know what? She has to think about it. It's real, and it's not like saying that it's got to stare blankly into the camera like a deer and be like, oh. But I'm not making fun of you. But
No, it's fine.
because I ask people, can you tell us about yourself? Okay, I'm like looking at my watch, saying, okay, how long are you gonna have that expressing?
Right.
So I could give people questions beforehand, but then it's gonna be, boom, 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 one after another. There's no pauses in between because
Yeah.
I want the audience to think, well, they have to think about it. Because you know what I mean, you watch Bill Maher, you watch Bill O'Reilly, and obviously on Bill Maher, they probably give you the questions. Oh, he's got to talk about racism. He's got to talk about stereotype. So you're in the back thinking, all right, how can I answer this? But if I threw it at you right there, I want people to say, "Well, I like that reaction on her face. He didn't." I want to give the people the wow factor, if that makes any sense, without
No, of course, yeah.
dancing about it. But I mean, obviously, that's my reason I don't give people questions, because if you know what I'm going to ask you, it's not going like what we're having right now. We're having great chemistry because it's real. Not just say I'm babbling, but maybe I am. But you want it to have it being authentic. Because if you have a copy and paste, like, okay, question two, what is the biggest change in you want to make in your acting career? If you
Right.
already made up in your mind, this is what I'm going to say, it kind of takes away from it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. No way.
But
Definitely.
no, I agree with you. And you can ask me anything too. By you asking me a question, I have no cards up my sleeve. So it makes it more real and presentable. You know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
I have diarrhea in the mouth.
It's all right.
But the question I want to ask you is, what is the biggest change you want to make in your career?
In my acting career.
Well, you mentioned that you are an entrepreneur. You have so many things going for you. And
Yeah.
any of the things that you mentioned, did you want to make any changes?
Change as in growth.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I every day I strive to grow bigger and better. And part of that is listening to people and their feedback. And I think that's really important. But my ultimate goal, is to really have a sustainable, eco-friendly athletic clothing line called Focus Artworks. And along with that, push my running career to the most fit I can be. And along with that, my acting career, I think I have a niche for comedy. So we'll see where that goes.
No, absolutely. Hashtag absolutely. You mentioned you're a runner. For me, a funny story is I am not a runner. We used to do in high school the mile run. So I used to walk it. It's like, hey, what's the point of you doing this? You're only gonna walk it. Yeah, but I like the scenery. I like the exercise. So I
Yeah,
used to get like 19 minutes. Someone else would get, oh, I ran the mile in 4 minutes. Well, I walked the mile in 19 minutes.
right. Yeah.
Obviously, it's not something to brag about, but for me, I never wanted to cause any pileups. That's why I never ran track. Fun to watch, but
Mhm.
not to be the guy like, it's your fault. This happened.
Well, I mean, running is about personal growth. It's all about running your personal best. And with people by your side, that pushes you to your limit. So it's not necessarily about time, it's about being able to be the best you could be at that moment.
It's funny you should mention it. It's kind of like you'd be the best of the best of the best man.
Yeah.
But funny story I want to ask you. Did you ever it wasn't funny at the time, obviously, but did he ever cause any pileups or because people they like looking up videos of bloopers of anything?
Right.
Did any of it ever happen to you?
I mean, I've gotten spiked a handful of times, but nothing that was caught on video or nothing too serious. I'm pretty level-headed when it comes to racing.
And when you mean spike, what is that? What is that?
So when you race in track and field, we have special shoes, and at the end of them, they have pyramid spikes, and they actually are like a quarter length big, and they actually could really hurt someone if you're like tripping over someone, or like you push someone by mistake and you fall, like you can actually get really hurt.
Oh, I never knew that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So when you see people on the track racing, they have spikes on.
Well, let
So,
me ask. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's just for like the grip. When you have grip, you're able to ground yourself and push yourself faster than you would be if you were just wearing regular sneakers.
So they're similar to cleats.
Yes, exactly.
You know, it's funny. I always wanted a pair of cleats. And when I was like, do you play sports? No, that's like how they look. Well, you're gonna tear the crap out of any floor you walk on. I know, I'm weird. For me, when I was younger, I used to reenact wrestling moves. And so my sister, my brother had rollerblade gears, like arm pads and knee pads. And
Mhm.
I liked the thing you put on your wrist. And I thought it was cool. I thought I looked like a badass. Other people thought I was going to be a crash test dummy.
Right.
But I like it. Doesn't hurt to be different. It doesn't hurt to be unique and be spontaneous. It's really boring if you're like I mentioned, the human pyramid stuff. If you ask the same questions over, and I'm guilty of that because I
Mhm.
have multiple of these cards,
Mhm.
asking the same questions over and over. People are like, what's the point of watching? It's got to be the same damn questions. If you throw some curveballs in there, and it's like, oh, well, I didn't know that. Where is he going to go? Where is he going with this? Or how far is this going to go? I like keeping people on their feet. Why I
Definitely.
wear these glasses is I blink too much, number one, because I have anxiety.
Mhm.
And right now I'm staring at you, but let's say my right eye I'm looking at you, but my left eye I'm looking at the camera. So instead of making it look like I like Tourette's or something,
Yeah.
I cover my eyes.
Yes. Okay. Whatever makes you feel comfortable.
It's true. And also I think it looks cool, except for the double bridge that I have. I can't get rid of that, but
Right.
hopefully Zoom can do something about it.
Yeah.
As you saw before we got started, I was using the different effects. I'm like, I can't use these special effects. They look so bad. They look so cheesy. I'm gonna stay with these because they look normal, even though people are like, why are you wearing glasses on top of glasses?
Mhm.
Different subject, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna actually do something different for you. I'm gonna pass the show over to you. I want to know what gets you fired up and where can people buy your merchandise?
So what gets me fired up is motivation. Motivation is the key to success. If you're motivated to do something and you find a way to do it, that is how you succeed. And a way to find my merchandise is online, is www.focusedartworks.com.
No, absolutely. Actually, now for a record, I'm putting these cards away because I'm actually tired of asking the same questions over and over. So I want this to be more real.
Okay.
One of my favorite motivational speakers is Dwayne The Rock Johnson, The Rock. He's a
Yeah.
fantastic, he has a big ego, obviously, but one of his things about he says clanging and banging, lifting those weights. If you can feel energized at being the most electrifying man who has a disability and entertain everyone, if you do that, people are like, "What the hell is wrong with them?" But if you're doing it as entertainment, you know, you I try to mirror myself like The Rock, the most electrifying man who has a podcast, who has a disability. You don't know what he's saying. You don't know what he's thinking. He's like a hamster on a wheel. Where is he going to go with this? Or,
Right.
I like The Miz,
Mhm.
or I'm a big wrestling fan. But there's many other motivational speakers. There's a captain where I can't think of his name, but he's the captain, and he talks about how he had midgets or short people in the army, and
Okay.
they call him the Munchkin crew,
Mm,
and they outran and outperformed everyone, and they were the best crew.
right.
One of the things he would say is the first thing you want to do when you wake up is make your bed because that's your first accomplishment. Because it doesn't matter how shitty of a day you have, when you come back, you have a nice bed already made waiting for you. So it's about doing small accomplishments. I'm probably just butcher that, but if I find it, I will send it to you. Do you listen to motivational speeches or not really?
Um, Not really, because I find myself self-motivating enough because I have goals and I'm very ambitious. I've been told I'm very ambitious. The only thing that motivates me is like some like house music, club music. It's like when I want to go for a run. But yeah, it's all self-motivation.
Okay, rapid fire. What songs get you fired up? And when you have a stressful day, what do you listen to help you relax?
So what gets me fired up is like something like a song called Beam Me Up, like a dancey, girly, popish, techno-y song. And there's times where if I'm stressed or something, I might listen to classical music actually. Classical music helps me level up and meditate and really focus on what I need to do.
For me, I'm a big do you like anime?
Not so much.
Ooh, shame on you. But I'm just kidding. One of my favorite animes, even if you don't like anime, one of my favorite music composers, Bruce Falconer. I use his music for everything. And, it's funny because I watched He-Man. I'm 35, and, I bet you're younger than me. Now I feel old. I watched He-Man, and I never caught in the beginning until later on Funimation made Dragon Ball and made He-Man. So when I put the music together, I went, why does this music go so well? And then it hit me that it was made by the same company.
Right.
He-Man had a lot of great, and She-Ra had a lot
Mhm.
of great soundtracks, but Dragon Ball, hands down, it's great mood music, it's suspense music. Um, that's when I work out. I listen to, Hulk Hogan's theme song, "Let me tell you something, brother," or "Let me tell you something, sister." I'm really
Yeah,
bad at doing this impression. Or
it's
the
okay.
I'm just trying to make you laugh. Or Randy says, "Oh yeah, what's your man, Randy?" And you actually
Mhm.
have a bottle of water because that really hurts your throat. But
Mhm.
certain music strikes a chord, and it says, "You know what? This really gets me fired up." You're on a treadmill, you're lifting weights, and it's funny because you can use Bruce Falconer's music for Star Wars, Superman, Batman, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, or any other thing, and it goes. It's I hate to say perfection, but it's the best thing you can ever hear. It goes with everything you want to listen to. It's like the icing on the cake. And but
Mhm.
seriously, it's really good. I would recommend it to you. Just look up Bruce Falconer.
I will check it out, definitely.
The other one is I would love to have him on the show, and I tried talking to him a couple times, and I hate when people say to me, "Why you want?" And I bet you had this answer too or response. Why do you want me on your show? I don't have a disability. Well, that's not really the point of being on the show. Being
Right.
on the show, you're supporting someone with disabilities and you get your airtime. But that's enough out of me. This is more about you.
Mhm.
Was there any famous people that you want to have wear your merchandise? If you do stuff for men, I would love to buy some.
Well, I do stuff for men, women, and children, actually. I do it for everybody, even unisex clothing. So everybody's included.
What can you tell us about the material? If it's is it every day? It's just for working out.
Yeah, so I have athleisure. So if you want to just hang out, maybe go to bed. And then I also have athletic clothing for like working out and doing physical things, swimming, going to the gym, running. Yeah, all that.
Would you be interested in doing custom?
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's so many websites. I make custom shirts. My dad's like, well, why you want to be a walking advertisement?
Hmm.
It's like, well, yeah, if it feels nice. But my biggest problem with making items, you can go to something like GERMO, whatever. They make nice things,
Right.
but I want to go. That's why I miss going to stores because you can feel it. It's like I like
Yeah,
this material because
yeah,
when you should know when you order it, I'm like, this is kind of flimsy or it's really nice, but if it gets caught on something, it could rip. So
yeah,
I'm very not saying I'm an asshole or anything, but I'm very picky
yeah.
of what the material is. It can look fantastic, but if it scratches the crap out of me, it's like I'm not going to wear it because it's, you know
It's
what I
not.
mean?
Oh, yeah, I definitely understand. Yeah. I mean, I have like all of the clothing I have several manufacturers I'm working with right now. I'm experimenting. I'm seeing what's working, what's not working, and then I have my customers also helping me, getting me feedback. But in regards to the fabric is usually pretty good, like whether it's for performance wear, I have antimicrobial fabric, so like the smell stays within. It doesn't come without, you know. And then some fabrics are recyclable, like 95% recyclable polyester. And even like fleece, like I have a variety of different fabrics for all types of people. And my son, he's 9. He also has a disability. He has autism. So I'm always encouraging him, and he helps me and I help him. So
No, absolutely. And it's amazing with people with disabilities can you are like inspirations and just if they can do it, you can do it too.
exactly.
A lot of people say I'm an inspiration, but I don't want to have a big head, but even though my family thinks I have my head up my ass, but for I give you an example. Just past Saturday is my 10-year anniversary, and people are like, "Oh, I want to do something," and it's like, "Yeah, that's great for you, and congratulations." But how does that matter to anybody else?
Right.
But you're putting yourself out there saying, I have a disability. By you being here, you support people with disabilities like your son, and you're supporting the message that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And you just prove to them you can still mount to something.
Definitely.
But with that being said, did your son help you design any of the outfits?
Right now he's just like modeling some things, testing it out. He's honest. If he didn't like it, he wouldn't wear it. Thankfully, that hasn't happened. So,
That's true.
yeah.
And he's more than welcome to be on the show anytime that he wants.
Hmm. I don't know. He gets very shy. I don't know if he would be willing to do that, but you never know. Maybe one day.
It's really funny you should mention that. A lot of people say, I want to be on your show, but I'm really shy. But just the fact I'm open, not, I'm spontaneous. But just
Right.
the fact that I'm open and I'm making jokes, and that's how you do it. You make jokes, you make people feel comfortable, and you want them to feel how you want to be treated.
Of
I'm
course.
not, the reason I put the card away is because I'm not going to ask, boom, 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 question after question, because then it won't be real.
Mhm.
I feed off energy. So I'm feeding off your positive energy right now. People will be like, that's stupid. Why is you feeding off positive? Because if an interview is boring, and I got rid of my last two interviews because the guy sat there, and as soon as he did it, it was like someone struck a nerve. Because how you're sitting right now, it's how you be. You're making eye contact, you have a beautiful smile, and you're upbeat. Anyone who sits like,
Yeah.
I don't want that person on the show
Right.
because no one's got to watch the episode. And if they do watch it, I can only God can imagine what the comments will be. What's the matter with him? Is he
Yeah.
awake? Is he constipated? He doesn't look like he wants to be here. So
Yeah.
it's just instead of cutting the BS, all my interviews are different. So if my guests are upbeat, funny, telling stories, it's going to be a wonderful time. And I'm hoping I'm making a good impression on you. But, you know, it's not about me. This is about you. Do you have any funny stories you want to share? And how can our fans and listeners get in touch with you or anyone that wants to work with you for that matter?
I mean, well, if anyone wants to work with me, you can go find me on Instagram. Emily is focused, and then my business is Focused Artworks, one word. And I don't know, funny stories is just like, I'm just like to be happy, and if funny things happen, funny things happen. It is what it is. I take life one day at a time.
That's true. You know,
Yeah.
there's a funny commercial, and actually we can go over to time limit right now, but there's a funny commercial. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's some guy named Lou, and I can't keep a straight face towards the end. And at the end, he's like, about medication. He's like, Will is like you. He's on meds too. And I'm like, did you just put that in there because you thought it was funny?
Yeah.
Every time hear that part, I'm like, okay, this is a boring commercial. And the zingers at the end, like, Will is like you. He's on meds too. I was like, they had to slip that in there. I was like,
Yeah.
how they had to get that past somebody and be like, oh, well, we did it off the air, but then we realized that, stuff like that. It's funny, but, it's just if you're premeditated and you write things down, yes, it's great that you can do it for the first couple of times, but then it kind of gets stale and repetitive, if that makes any sense.
No, of course. Yeah, I understand.
But I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but I want you to be brutally honest. No cards up my sleeve. And I can take the punch. I want you to
Okay.
be brutally honest. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what made you say yes? How do you feel now? And would you recommend it?
So I said yes because you never know where opportunities can lead you. I will never say no to an opportunity. Like I'm always gonna take it, never take it for granted though. Just do it, try it out. And then like working with you is fine. You're great. I love your personality. It's fun and it's outgoing. And I think that's really important.
Our goal is to reach 100 and more views. If you're watching, you definitely have to leave a comment, positive one, obviously. Leave a comment. And once you reach 100 mark, definitely do a part two. When I do projects down the road, you're more than welcome to be a part of it. And I would love to work with you. But with that being said, until we until we meet again, catch you later. Thank you and have a good night.
Bye.